Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a brand new video all about 5 items that you need for your spring wardrobe in 2020. I did do a spring essentials video last year as well, so I'm going to try not to repeat myself too much from that video. Some of the pieces I'm going to mention today are timeless spring pieces that you should have in your wardrobe every spring, in my opinion. Of course, styles differ, so each to their own, but I'm also going to be mentioning a few things that are slightly more trend-led. They are definitely things that you'll still be able to wear next spring as well, but they are specifically like on trend, or I've seen them around a lot this year in particular. If you are new to my channel, I would love it if you subscribe. I upload at least one new video every single week. And let's go ahead and get started with the first item, which is not an item in particular, but the first thing that I think you need for spring 2020 is florals. This one is definitely a timeless style. Florals are not going to go out of style. You will be able to wear them next spring and the spring after and spring in 10 years from now. And of course you can wear them in other seasons as well, but I think spring in particular is the time to break out all your floral pieces in your wardrobe and possibly to invest in some new ones. I can see out my window right now there are beautiful flowers starting to blossom on the trees, so florals just feel like the right thing to wear in springtime. I have a few pieces to show you for the floral style. Most of them are dresses. So this is one that I picked up last year. It is a yellow dress, but it does have a large floral print that runs throughout. I also have this one here, which is a newer purchase for me. This is from Pia, which is a New Zealand brand. And again, we have these big floral printed patterns in very bright bold colors. This dress from Max is a lot more understated in terms of its color palette. It still does have the floral print running throughout it though. It's a much smaller print, and something in a more neutral color palette like this is going to suit a lot of different seasons as well, whereas the brighter colors potentially only are going to work for spring and summer. But this one I've been wearing all winter with just a chunky jumper over the top. I do also have a couple of midi skirts with a floral print. This one is a white shirt with a blue floral print through it, again quite a small print. This is one that I've had for, oh gosh, I've had this for like 7 years I think, and I pull this out every spring and I really love this skirt. Number 2 is a trend that I've noticed in 2020. It's a color that I've been seeing everywhere over the last few weeks, and that is lilac. So this dress is also from Pia. I actually bought this a couple of months ago. I just thought that it was absolutely stunning. I loved the color and everything about it. Then after I bought this dress, I started noticing lilac popping up on my Instagram feed, especially from brands that are situated more in the southern hemisphere. Dick Juba is one that I've noticed doing a lot of lilac at the moment, and also Pia, which is a New Zealand brand. And yeah, I've just seen it all over my Instagram feed, and it seems to be the color of spring 2020. And although it is a trend, it's not like you won't be able to wear a lilac dress next spring. Like, lilac is a beautiful color that is very spring appropriate, so even if it's not on trend next year, it won't matter. It'll still be something that you'll be able to pull out and wear again. So I do actually have another lilac dress. This one is from Cotton On, and I picked this one up even before the other one. I had no idea that lilac was a trend when I picked either of these dresses up. And this one kind of ties in with the first thing that I mentioned as well, with the florals, because there is actually a bit of a floral print running through this dress as well. Item number 3 that I think you need for spring 2020 is a long sleeve dress. As soon as spring rolls around, I want to be done with all my winter gear. I want to be wearing my beautiful dresses, but it's also not quite warm enough for the summer dresses. So my way around this is long sleeve dresses that have a bit more coverage. Often I will choose to wear midi or maxi dresses, again just because they keep me that little bit warmer. But I definitely think a long sleeve dress is something that you should have in your wardrobe if you don't already. Some of the dresses that I've already shown you in this video have been long sleeve dresses, like this one from Max, and both of the 2 lilac ones that I just showed you. But I also have this one, which you've probably seen in a bunch of videos in the past. I actually got this one from Japan, but this is definitely one that I pull out for cooler weather when I still want to wear a dress. And also one of my purchases for spring last year is the Zara dress, which also has long sleeves. So don't forget about pieces that are already in your wardrobe from previous years. You don't always need to go out and buy something new. And actually every single one of those dresses except for this one is actually midi length. So just FYI, if you really are looking for coverage, modesty, and just, you know, a bit more material to keep you warm, long sleeves as well as midi length are going to be your best bet. Speaking of midi length, the fourth thing that I think you need for spring 2020 is a midi skirt. I'm all about midi length. Ever since it became a trend about 3 or 4 years ago, I've been filling my wardrobe with dresses and skirts that are that midi or maxi length. They tend to be more maxi length on me because I am quite short, but I'm absolutely obsessed with anything that's that length. I find it really flattering. So if you're more of a skirt person, or if you just want to add a bit of variety into your wardrobe on the days that you feel more like a skirt, definitely having a midi length option is the perfect thing to have ready to go for spring. So I've already shown you this one that I've had for several years now. This is probably one of my oldest pieces in my wardrobe, and like I said, this is one that I'm still pulling out every year when the temperatures get a bit warmer. And then this is another one that is also older in my wardrobe. I think I've had this for 2 or 3 years now. This is from Farmers. This is definitely more of a year-round skirt for me. This one never gets put away into the out-of-season box, so I have been wearing it all through winter just with tights and then a chunky jumper over the top, but in spring and summer I will wear it more with like t-shirts and little singlets, and instead of tights and boots I'll wear it with sandals. This one gets a heap of wear year round. And then I also have a couple of new midi skirts that I haven't worn yet. So this green one is from Cotton On. I've had this sitting in my wardrobe ready to go for a couple of months now. I'm very excited. It has the elasticated waist just on the back here, and then it has a little slit up both sides so you can walk around easily. And I also picked up this one from Pia in this pink and white print, which I think is just gorgeous. So I really cannot wait to start wearing both of these. And the final item that I think you need for spring 2020 is a white shirt. I do think a white shirt is an essential piece in your wardrobe, especially for springtime. The reason that I think you need one in spring in particular is because you can start getting wear out of your more summery dresses that if you didn't have something to put under them, then you would only be able to wear them for a really small amount of time in the height of summer. Case in point, what I'm wearing right now. So this dress, it just has like these really thin little spaghetti straps, not a lot to keep me warm, so it's great in the middle of summer, but I don't want to only be able to wear it for a few weeks each year. And of course it doesn't have to be a white shirt that you put under a dress like this, but I just find that white is a color that goes with most things. Yes, I know black does as well, and I do have black shirts that I wear under my dresses as well, but I just feel like in spring you want something a bit lighter in color. If black is more your color palette, then definitely go for black instead. But I love wearing my white tops underneath dresses in spring in particular. So obviously I have this one with the high neck and the long sleeves, which is what I wear typically at the start of spring when it's still quite chilly. So I'll just pop this under a dress, especially if the dress has a bit of white in the pattern already. When it starts to get a bit warmer but it's still not quite warm enough to wear a dress like this on its own, I'll transition into something more like a t-shirt where it's got short sleeves and not a high neckline. So I'm a little less covered than I am in something like this, but still more covered than just wearing the dress on its own. So I have about 4 or 5 white shirts, and I just choose one depending on the weather, or you know, if one's in the wash I'll wear a different one. So I think it's really good to have a couple of different options, and then you get more wear out of your dresses. Of course, you're not just going to wear your white shirts under a dress, you can also wear them with your midi skirts that I was talking about earlier. You can wear them under a blazer. There's lots of different options, so definitely a staple that I think you should have for spring. And that brings me to the end of today's video. Those were the 5 items that I think you really should have in your spring wardrobe for 2020. Let me know in the comments if you think there's any others that you really should have. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I really hope you did enjoy it, and I will see you again next time. Bye!